When you gonna stop jabbing and tell everybody you got laid off? Hey man, calm down, baby. Save for your honeymoon.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back to the theaters.
Welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Sequel. This movie podcast where we're talking sequels, and we do it in two parts. The first, an interview with an actor or someone involved that made the film worth watching. And the second, a discussion of the sequel, what they got right, what they got wrong, and how it could have been better. Hope you enjoyed last week's interview with actress Enya Flack. Enya had a very small part in this week's sequel. We talked about some really cool projects she worked on, the Roger Corman series, Black Scorpion, her journey from being more behind the scenes to a guy, a talent agent at a male modeling show, sees her, she's just working it, and it's like, hey, how about we talk? And then she's on Fresh Prince within like a few weeks. Her story about being a PA on the first on the pilot of Friends, and we talked about that. But yeah, great chat. So if you haven't heard that yet, be sure to check it out. But now we're talking a movie. This is another one of those, Jamie, that I saw this in the movie theater. I had a more fond memory. But before I say anything more about Buddy Love and his dog tendencies, I got to introduce you to my partner in the sequel watching journey, Jamie Riccardi. Jamie, how are you?
Well, Doug, we've been doing this a while now, and I think now so far in these 4 months, this might be the worst group of movies we've seen like together for like a year so far. Like this is the year of bad movies because
this is the year of the last year. They had the year of the rat, year of the dog. This is the year of dog shit movies.
It honestly, like, I mean, I thought I saw this movie in the past, and I might have, but this is a terrible movie, and it really like I get, the first movie did well, and I understand, it was a remake of the Jerry Lewis movie, and I think it fit. This has really nothing to do with, like, it doesn't make, this movie makes no sense. It makes no sense compared to the first movie, right? Because the first movie, it's just a split personality, right? That he has, that obviously changes his look. Here, it creates a whole new person.
Well, he was a new person in the first one. He was changing his, it was all body changing to Buddy Love.
He was changing. This one, the person comes out of him.
Yes. And do you remember, did you ever see the original? Did he play his own mom and dad and older brother?
No. You know what? I don't know. And it's funny. Like, again, this movie's not even about, it's really about the family. I mean, I know it's called the Klumps, so it's more about the family than anything else.
Wait, what'd you call them? What's their name? You said the Klumps?
No, I said
okay. I think you said the Plumps, and I'm like,
they
that
are
fits.
The Plumps.
That does fit.
And listen, he really does a fantastic job because they all seem like real people, except for the grandmother. The grandmother comes across like a monster. Oh my God, dude. She comes across like a monster. She looks like a monster. Like,
she looks like, dude? She looks like a black version of Dan Aykroyd's character in Nothing But Trouble.
Again, the uncle looks great, or the brother. He looks like a real guy. The father, you could see them all as like they resemble people. The grandmother, you're right, looks like she's so over the top looking. Like
she's a nightmare, dude. Yeah,
it really is. Just looking, I mean, her personality is a nightmare, but the way she looks, no teeth, she looks like a monster.
Almost as scary as, remember Alex Winter's grandma in Bogus Journey and like that nightmare?
Oh, yeah.
When they get to come here, give grandma a kiss. And it's so him in makeup.
Yeah.
That's just as frightening.
It is. It really is. And so, what's the rating of this movie?
I don't know.
It can't be R, right?
No, it can't be. There's a couple choice words, but nothing too bad.
Oh, there's a lot of, I think it's a lot of crude humor.
Really?
And I'm trying to think of what's the age group for this movie, because like it's too dumb for adults, and I feel like it's
PG-13.
Okay, it's aimed for kids, but there's a lot of innuendos and like a lot like that are more for adults, but the movie's really for kids. So like I'm trying to think of the audience for this movie.
Well,
Like,
here, this is Common Sense Media, which we should read these for all the movies. Parents need to know that this movie includes lots of gross, raunchy episodes. Don't be fooled by the PG-13. It's not appropriate for middle schoolers and younger kids. If there's a bodily function or dysfunction to make fun of, you'll see it in this movie.
I mean, the first 2 minutes, there's what Buddy coming out of the front of his pants. Like it's literally like I feel like it's way over the top. It's trying to be over the top. Eddie Murphy, when he's not being one of the Klumps, is too way over the top. I don't know. This movie was just, it was bad. All right, that's my rant.
Yeah, that's their second movie this year. That's got to be a record. We'll have to remember that at the year-end awards. We have a category that has 2 different movies in it. Best movie where a man comes from someone's zipper. We have Lep in Space, and we have this movie. Like,
same
dude, I can tell you, me and my wife were watching this, and she watched like maybe the first half, and she's like, oh no, she watched like the second half. Me and the kids were starting to watch this. She's like, oh, how is it? I remember it being funny, and I'm like, you know what? I didn't remember that there was 2 different people. I thought it was like the same thing as the first one, maybe just a different wrinkle. I'm like, oh, Janet Jackson, she was always smoking, but she was huge at this time. Like, so it's like, okay, cool. Like, and then when just some of the jokes, and it was just very slow. I'm telling you, the only times I really laughed was with the grandma and the father yelling at each other. That was like the only time I'm like, this is really good. A lot of the other stuff is really slow or very weird. The Buddy Love stuff, him being a dog, just was it's so ridiculous.
This has nothing to do with the first movie because it created a new person. The grandmother, she was too gross to like laugh at. Like, and there was a lot of drama in this movie. Like forced drama,
a lot of emotion, dude. Yes. Like a 50, he's like what, probably 65, and he can't get it up anymore. She's telling Wanda Sykes, who's great in the salon, and it's like, wait, this is like a very there's a lot of serious music in it during those scenes.
The whole relationship with his parents is like, I mean, throughout the whole movie. So, and again, these are fake people that you build like the drama surrounding, like it just. I don't know. And the fact that, I mean, I didn't know if Janet Jackson was in the first one, and then I realized it was Jada Pinkett Smith, who at the time, again, was probably highlight of her career, and she looked good too back then. So this guy hooks up with Jada Pinkett, like she loves him, and so does Janet Jackson. Like he's getting all the girls, this guy. I mean, ridiculous.
Because he's so smart. He's the smartest one.
Oh, is he? Because he becomes Rocky. He does
the reverse Rocky.
He does Rocky 5. He turns into Rocky 5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, and I really didn't laugh that much in this movie. The only scene I laughed at, and it was so dumb, and it made no sense because you would think if you hire a mariachi band, they come with their own songs, but they were repeating what he was saying. So, which again, it was funny, but like that made no sense because a mariachi band would come with their own music. They're not going to repeat what you're saying when you're talking to a woman, And okay, since we're on, and it's funny, I don't have a lot of notes with this movie because it was just like I felt like it was all over the place. But how long? Like, first of all, were they even dating?
I didn't think they were because he never met the parents. Who's Rocky 5? You just said Rocky 5, and who's in it? The promoter from Rocky 5 is in this movie.
But they acted like he just had he was hitting on her, like he really liked her. But they didn't really show that there was a relationship yet. They're getting married. He proposes, and she says yes. Like that.
Just because she doesn't want to take another job. That's what it was. Like it was like he liked her, and he didn't know if she liked him. But when she's like, it was like the University of New Hampshire or something. She's like, oh, I don't know, and he's like, oh, well, they'll be lucky to have you. But there's somebody here that wants you. And he's like, and then he proposes the next day?
Yeah, it's so weird. It made no sense. I feel like a lot of it was rushed. I feel like a lot of this movie was rushed, and it was just really let Eddie Murphy just be a bunch of characters and just go crazy, and that's really what it was. There was the plot. What is the plot? The plot is that Buddy escaped his body. That's the plot. Like which again, they don't really explain because the way it happens also doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense. But so let's get into it. So even in the beginning of the movie, and just looking at my notes, it's like I was hoodwinked thinking it was the first movie again because the beginning was funny, and I'm like, oh, this is good. I wrote, man, I love this movie so much. Boy, did that change quick, like really quick. This is a hard one to watch. Should be 3 nights because it just was so boring. I was falling asleep, and it's like
it was. Well,
nothing to grab your attention.
No, again, I think with the first movie, again, you have this schleppy guy who, is really has no friends. He's a nobody, and he becomes the popular kid in school, right? Would Buddy love, but that's him. He lost weight. That's him. Here, it's like he's the schleppy guy the entire movie. In fact, he gets worse than what he was in the movie.
Yeah.
And so it takes, to me, it took away from really what the first movie was about, and I think that was the problem. I don't know, but yes, I got hoodwinked in the first scene. I thought that was really happening. I didn't realize it was a dream at first, so I was
is that where he comes out of the zipper? Is that in the first scene or is that?
That's the first scene. They were at the church.
It is, right? Yeah. I was going to say it got really weird really quick. Yeah.
Like within 5 minutes, it got weird, so. Yeah.
But yeah, then we find out when he's at the shrink, he's explaining the whole like, oh yeah, Buddy sometimes can come out. I'm like, this is insanity. Like he did this thing in the first movie to create this really cool suave version of himself. And now it's like the thing's still alive and he's randomly talking and it's popping out.
So what, I don't remember the first one. How did he stop Buddy Love in the first one?
Nah, I forget. I couldn't even remember.
That's kind of important.
It must have, my guess would be, it would have to be some kind of formula, right? It's a scientist. I'm sure it has to be that because it's like coming out of his body.
Okay, so then the formula is no longer working, and so now really the Buddy Love that's coming out before he changes is just a split personality that it's coming out of him, that he doesn't know what's going on.
You talking about in the first movie?
No, I'm talking about now. Like because in the first movie,
now in this one, but what we find out is they're kind of connected. Because Buddy doesn't know things about the formula. So some of like Sherman's brain, we find out that some of it is from that process it's deteriorating, but it seemed like it was something that only Buddy knew because it was like the next day. So that was kind of like a weird, like not a plot hole, but it was like, oh, okay, is this why? Because they're split? Because if he gets him back, he's fine again. But they're saying no matter what, the brain matter is I don't know.
Yeah, but in the first one, it was a split personality, but also body change, right? With the personality. So, so like, did he know what was going on when he was Buddy, and did Buddy know what was going on when he was Sherman? Oh, well, I think so.
I think he definitely
didn't want to
knew.
be back to Sherman. He didn't want to go back to being Sherman, right?
Yeah.
In the first one, okay.
Yeah. So there was some kind of underlying thing, but we find out in this movie if you add a detergent to a formula, it creates giant hamsters.
Well, not only detergent. Well, it also creates horny hamsters. Which,
right. That was the first thing it did.
And that guy he plays the same role in every movie.
Oh, Larry Miller. Yeah, I was gonna talk about him because he is he's one of the best.
He absolutely one of the best, but he literally plays the same role in every movie, like the jerky guy that has these comments, but he's funny because he's straight faced and he in the same role in every movie. He's either a principal, pretty much a principal in every movie that he's in or something like that, or the boss. But since you and me, we're jumping a little bit. So not only detergent, but how about one dog hair creates Buddy?
Oh, I know, dude. Yeah, because all you need is a piece of DNA, and it's the dog. And then I don't know, you add DNA to something, then it. Oh, okay. Now everything else, I don't understand that.
Because if that was the case, wouldn't it just make a dog like a different version of the dog? Not
I know.
Buddy. Like it should have been like a dog like how they had where it became like a cool dog compared to the like. I mean, I don't know how they would do that, but like that's what it should have been. And speaking of the dog, so these are smart people. They're working a lab. I'm not a scientist, but I would assume when they're in a lab, it's got to be the cleanest place possible because any little germ would ruin whatever chemistry, whatever
Yeah, you can ruin years of work if there's like an uncontrolled substance. Yeah.
So they allow a dog to roam freely in this area that has, like should be clean. Plus, they're eating snacks in the area where they're doing all the experiments that he leaves in his pocket. So like it seems like it probably
and they're laying mops against the wall. Because that's what it is, right? The dog bumps into a mop. The mop, an uncovered beaker on the edge of a desk.
Well, you had to know if there's a beaker there, it's like real scientist stuff because that's where beakers are.
Real
like
this is almost like those training videos at a job.
Oh,
here's what not to do in your science lab. Step 1, make sure you lock up the dog.
2, no snacks. 3, no mops. I mean, like, I feel like they broke every rule that should be done.
There's places that you can't go because they dumped things years ago, and it's a super fun site, and it has a sign, no eating. You think you can eat above all that stuff?
No. There's probably so much germs in there that, like, again, I would assume science labs have clean rooms where, like, the air is all, like perfect, like everything has to be perfect in that room. So there's no germs whatsoever. Nothing can contaminate it. Nothing. And here it seems like there's complete contamination everywhere.
Yeah. It's like, hey, what's that orange stuff floating there? What's the science? Oh, no. Johnson brought in Cheetos today.
Which, again, he leaves snacks in his pocket. In his lab pocket. So he left open snacks. So like the next day, like they're not gonna be stale. Like he just leaves like they had to show that he's such a fat guy that he just has snacks everywhere.
Yeah. Oh my God. Dude. Okay. And now Sherman, now he's leaving his shrink, right? And when he's leaving, he's like flirting with all the students and the girls, all the hot chicks, the fountain. And then he's like, Klump in charge. And then at that point, you're like, okay, he's going to ask her out, right? That's when I'm like, oh, he's into her. He's having dreams about a wedding.
For the first time.
Yes.
Correct.
That's what I'm thinking. And then Buddy comes out because there was the old teacher and an old hag. And then he did one of my favorite bits that I think, even if it's not funny, when it's like, no, I said a gold rag or something. It's always corny when they do that, but
and then didn't he have a really launch, like he was like dry humping the air to Janet Jackson when she turned around? Like he did something with Janet Jackson, like the last one. It was like he was dry humping the air, and like again, he does like Buddy is able to not only take over his like mouth, he takes over his body too.
I guess again, yeah, it makes him start air humping. But how about the fact that again he's going to ask a girl out? It seems, right? That's what we're thinking. He opens up something. He wants to be to her lecture. You're like, okay, that's nice. He's loud as hell. He's disruptive, asking questions. And then what happens? The bell rings. It's over.
but and he literally like he finds that one seat in the middle of like, like what, 30 kids? Like, and like, why is he sitting down with the students? He's a professor.
Yeah. I don't know. It made zero sense. Like there was a couple other older people, but I'm just like, wait, you're showing up this late?
Yeah.
To interrupt it, she couldn't even finish. She was like probably just at the end, maybe the important part, and he's just asking questions, knocking over chairs.
Even if you wanted to go there, you would think like, again, as another professor who's you walk in the back and you wait in the back. You stand in the back. Like he's literally like as if a student arrived late to class and trying to sit down. That's how he acted.
Yeah.
In the Okay.
Yeah, he should have just did a little sneak in. But so now we're back to Sherman's lab after this. We find out like the big experiment. He has, an elixir, can be able to turn a dog into a puppy. Larry Miller, he wants to right away exploit it. And I love the way he talks about it, even later when he talks about the funding that they're offered. And he's like, $150 million. He's like really excited. And then Larry Miller is like, oh yeah, but that's for the university.
He's
Yes.
such a swarmy, like just like weaselly guy.
He's on the Mount Rushmore with Stuart Penkin. Like they're up there. The swarmy.
They have the same
nose down at you.
Absolutely. I mean, I think he takes it. I think he takes it over Stewart. I think he's just like,
yeah. Oh, I think so too. Yeah.
He really because he just has that look to him, and he's so good at like his lines, the way he does it, that I think he's definitely the top guy.
Yeah, dude. How about in 10 Things I Hate About You? Before the Larissa Olenek wants to go out with her friends, he makes her wear the pregnant belly.
He's very funny. Like he's such a good side character. Like, I mean, yeah.
He's nuts. Even like, I think he wants to put it on Dwayne Wade's wife. He asked her if she wants to wear it. Could you imagine? It's like, oh, so what'd you do with so-and-so's house? It's like, her dad made me wear like this pregnant belly that I had in a closet. Nuts, man. What a nuts guy. But yeah, so now we are at the buffet.
I mean, first of all, if that wasn't a gross scene of just them piling on the food, like, they like, I wonder if people that are, I don't want to say overweight or just, on the larger size.
Okay.
Larger size. I'm trying to be nice about it, but
yeah, totally.
If they're insulted in this kind of scene, because like, going to a buffet as a person of a larger size, like, do you think people that own the buffets like freak out to like,
they shudder, like they see them park and they're like,
hurry up, put the close sign up.
And they can't get there in time. The Klumps open the door. Oh my God.
But I mean, in reality, like, I wonder if just, like they say, like, women who, do the nails, they talk in different language, like in, Seinfeld, whatever. And, they talk behind your back, and, they do it in King of Queens. Like, I wonder if when it comes to these buffets, like when they go back to the kitchen, they're like, these guys, the largest family ever is coming in right now. Like,
the Klumps are here. The Klumps are
we're in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, because they shoveled, like, they should have had a shovel. Like that would almost fit what they were, the way they were eating, is give them a miniature shovel, because they literally poured out the entire tray onto their plates. There was nothing left.
Oh my God. I think Janet Jackson was eating like nothing. Right? She was there, like squished into everybody. Like,
well, there was nothing left for her to eat.
Wasn't that funny too? When they showed the buffet after they were done, and it was like mostly empty.
Ridiculous. And is Hercules is the other son, right? The younger
Hercules
son?
is He's
Does he speak? I don't think
barely speaks in this movie. I didn't speak in the first one. I don't think so.
I don't think he does. He farts, but he doesn't speak. Like, I don't think he speaks at all. Like.
Hercules. How about when the grandma showed up late and she wheels in and he goes, well, isn't it the Alzheimer Express arriving late?
She comes in with the old guy, right? That looks like he's 90 years old.
Okay, you know what a really funny scene is? When she turns off his hearing to talk shit about him.
But he looked like a 90-year-old guy. Like, I mean, like,
I think that was the funniest part, was he was really an old guy. You don't think everybody in that scene is Eddie. So it's like, it would be really funny if we found actually a real old guy. Yeah, I know. I think
I don't think he says 2 words in the movie. Like, I think he's so old because he looks, I mean, his face is sunken in. Like, he looks like he looks like he could be almost 90, this guy. And he doesn't say 2 words in the whole movie. So, like, I mean, that's pretty funny. I wonder if he was like another character.
I think he says one comment to Cletus, because that was the whole thing about like not getting it up anymore. And he said like a little something. Get out!
Oh, he does.
He said, get out of here. But Grandma's talking about her sex life right at the table while they're like scarfing food.
The whole movie, she's like that. I mean, like, it's just how old is Grandma? You think? Because they make her look like she's got to be in her 80s.
Oh yeah, 80s, 90s. Yeah,
okay.
like how old Sherman do you think?
But I mean, why does she have no teeth? I mean, I know when you get old, like, everybody's dentures if you have no teeth. Like, they literally make her have, like, I think she has one snaggletooth. Like
she does, yeah. She has a few like broken teeth that are really gross, like really. But
Ugh.
so grandma starts bringing up, like, again, this is like supposed to be a retirement dinner for Cletus. She brings up, oh, I mean, he's not able to get hard. And then they're all like talking amongst themselves. And I think the older brother, played by Eddie, of course, I think the guy's name like Eddie or something, but he was like, oh, come on, Dad, now you're retired. What are you going to do? And then Buddy jumps out of freaking Sherman and says, why aren't you going to tell people you got laid off? And it's like, whoa, what the? And that starts
Yeah.
like the real drama. He can't get hard. He got fired from his job pretty much, and he's super bummed out about it.
If you take all the drama in this movie, because there's a lot of it. I mean, with the father and the mom, I think that's almost half the movie. Like it literally, like
dude,
the storyline.
they're in most of the movie. Yes,
they really are, and it's mostly. I mean, like it has the crack and the jokes, but I mean, even when he drinks the formula, like it's like a drama. It's sad, like like so. It's like bizarre what they were aiming for. It's like you in the first movie, obviously there's drama about with Eddie Murphy, being a lonely guy and all that stuff, and but here, I mean, it does get like if you didn't have like the Eddie Murphy part of Buddy, this could easily been like a drama.
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah.
No, there's definitely like way too much emotion, especially like even at this point, like learning about that. But then they have to cut in like a real serious joke because he starts choking, and then he farts, and it blows the birthday cake, burns the wall, and it's like those people are probably
I wish I would. It almost burned the entire restaurant down. That was like a flamethrower.
But there were people sitting there not moving. Like the extras weren't moving enough.
They didn't move at all. I wrote that down. Like they were.
And then just like this, like.
So what came out of his mouth that the old man ate? Because something popped out of his mouth.
Oh,
when he was
wasn't it like a shrimp? I think it was a shrimp. Oh yeah, the old man ate it, right?
Yeah, he ate it. So
because he was probably deaf, couldn't hear the thing fly or pay attention. And he's like, ooh, and he was real happy.
So wait, he couldn't hear it. He couldn't see it fly across the room. Like I mean, like
maybe he did. He didn't probably hear
that.
And he probably can't see too good. He can't hear. Maybe the eyes are gone too.
So let me ask you this: as a larger person, it's got to be very challenging to do like the Heimlich.
Oh yes, there's a lot in the way, of course.
I mean, because I mean, that's something. I mean, again, on a serious note, like how are you supposed to get all the way around someone like that? Like it's gonna be, like that's dangerous. So.
You probably you can't even really do the Heimlich. You just have to do the
punch
bang
in the back.
right on the or something like that.
Or bang on.
You can't reach around.
Yeah. Okay.
But just think about like being that size and not even like making fun of it. Like it'd be so hard to go anywhere and do anything. Like sitting at just think about a Chinese restaurant or a China buffet. When you go, they're the shittiest chairs, the boots that I can sometimes barely fit in. And it's like it's got to be tough for the Klumps out there.
Look at a plane. I mean, it's no different than a plane.
Yeah.
I mean,
you got to buy more than one seat.
Listen, it's funny. I went to Disney last year, and now what the rides do we're going on a tangent. Well, but listen, the movie's about heavier people, so we're gonna be and so like there's a lot of rides now that have a way to test if you can fit into the harness. Before you go on there. So like it's like a seat.
Like a luggage rack? Kind of they put you into something to see if you can practice fit?
You go in yourself. No, you go in yourself. So like before you get they do it like ahead of time. So to make sure
okay. They have a couple of that at Sesame for like some of the roller coasters to see if the kids can fit.
The roller coasters. So it's funny though, because there's a ride, the new run, like Tron, and it doesn't come down like in front of you. You actually have to like kneel and it kind of squeezes you like this way. So like when we were online, you see a lot of people that are sitting down there and they're like, they so want to go on the ride so bad that you could see like the people squishing that they really try to squeeze it. And it's like not working. Like, so like, that's what I picture. Like, again, with these, sometimes with these people in the seats, like they really try to just squeeze the best they can in there. And but you know what though? The Klumps make it happen. They seem to have no problem, wherever they go.
No, they don't. They don't at all. And then we kind of mentioned this already, just to like, we talked about like Denise, she was going to take a job and it was Maine. And she says something here, and she can't leave, and it's him. And then Sherman breaks into her house. Right? So they don't know each other that well because we kind of. It seemed like maybe that was the first.
He proposed to her, so I mean, like, unless they didn't like, I mean, they
unless they were just like really close friends and never made it official or something.
But they didn't establish that at all. They literally.
No, I know.
It made it look like that he just really liked her and she thought of him as a friend. That's what they made it look like.
Yeah.
So yeah,
she was into him. But he broke into her house. Like he probably maybe has been there a couple times. Like if they're like if they were like kind of friendly. But yeah, he breaks in. He sets up like the rose petals, and then the fact that he sets it up to go to the balcony, and then he's outside. What's that?
Okay. I mean, first of all, it wasn't just it was like the most romantic rose petal layout that you possibly could do. This guy, like, and listen, I don't think he could see his feet. I don't know how he's laying those rose petals down.
It should have been very sloppy, right?
It would be it really should be it was like perfectly placed everywhere. And I'm just gonna say, first of all, he gets exhausted walking up the stairs, so I can't imagine him, doing that. So, but so here we're at a point where we see this in so many movies. Do you know anyone that's ever serenaded someone? And I'm going to say, I'm going to take a wild guess, and you're going to say you did it once, but serenaded someone from their, while they're in their bedroom window, they open the window and like you're out there either singing to them, playing guitar, or playing a song.
I have never done it like that, but I've made songs or something. But
okay, that's
no, I never have. I guess it's like say anything.
Yeah, say it. But every movie has something like to say anything that someone's and it always works. Like that. It like so like you think today. I think people would laugh. Like I don't think that would work in the world today. Like in just in general. That if you went to a girl's room, a house, and like you threw a rock at a window to open the window, and the cheese comes out. Which, by the way, somehow every window opens up like this.
Right.
It's never the normal window. It's always like
the normal
windows. It's always like the princess window. So like this, like they open out like a barn. But just like I feel like that I don't think anyone's ever done.
Yeah, I think the only reason it would happen now, not for a proposal, but now with like obviously social media and TikTok promposals, like people doing ridiculous stuff like that. But,
I guess. I mean,
but this scenario is insane that he breaks in, he puts the rose petals down. And then the fact that even she thinks it's weird that he's not in the house. Like he should have been like on the bed maybe or something like that. But she's even like, Sherman, come inside. And Buddy breaks out, dude, and ruins the whole thing.
It's yeah. But
and he's very drastic. Again, she's a scientist. Couldn't he have right then and there, like, fully explained it before he, at that time, angrily, it was almost he was so tired and angry from breaking back into the lab that he was, like, kind of sloppy doing all this because obviously the way everything turned out. But, yeah.
But see, this is again, something we discuss all the time. Why didn't he come clean with her from the beginning? Because he was put in so many scenarios with her where she kept getting turned off by him multiple times and getting annoyed at him a few times or annoying her parents or like so forth. Like, why didn't he come clean right from the beginning? Because, he knew that Jada Pinkett Smith knew, like I'm assuming in the first movie. So like, he knows like that's the way to go, but yet he keeps it a secret again. And did they ever mention Jada Pinkett's character at all?
No.
So like why they broke up or like, like whatever, like he just moved on to another person.
Yeah. I don't even remember her in the only part of the first movie. I remember a lot of the funny switches was the Dave Chappelle scene at the stand-up club.
Yeah, but I don't remember the movie either, but I'm assuming she fell in love with Sherman and not Buddy, and so like that was probably the moral of the movie. So, I mean, I would think they've gotten together at the end of the movie. But like, there's no mention at all. Like, what's the time frame between this movie and the last movie?
I don't know. Years wise, for release wise, I think 3-4 years. But yeah, I don't know.
No. I'm talking about movie world.
In the story, they didn't talk about anything. There was no jump. We got right into it. He's at a shrink. There was no like, oh, Denise, it's been great since I met you 4 years ago. That would have been something. But no, we don't know anything. We don't know what time, how far it is from the first.
They should, instead of doing the stupid wedding that they did, like, because that really made no sense. What they should have done was maybe show like the last 2 minutes of the first movie and then showing them right away at the shrink, right? Like the buddy from the first movie messed him up a little bit, and now he's got to see a doctor because now he's struggling with this alter ego that he had or whatever. Because then that would explain like the distance, why is he going to shrink in the first place? Like they don't explain that. In this movie.
He said a little bit. The one thing he said, I think what I did, that's why I didn't know before, like what exactly was done, like to stop Buddy. But he said, I think it might be wearing off. That's what he said. But then at that point in my head, I'm like, he's a scientist. Do what you did last time. No, you have to do this new thing that they just started working on, like pulling genes out in order to. It was just very like, what are we doing?
And why, like the formula he made, wasn't that a big enough formula for anyone to want to buy anyway? Like that wasn't it, like the fact that you can make yourself is, in a way, was that sort of like the Fountain of Youth? Because I feel like Eddie Murphy looked younger than Buddy anyway. Like it was like, like it made him a different person. So wouldn't that formula have been on the market also?
Well, I don't know. I don't remember how he did it. If it was like a weird science-ish thing that he put in, like, oh, I want my other personality to look like this or something. I don't remember that part of it. But it was like the obviously people want the Fountain of Youth, like the dog thing. This was like removing genes. So I think they mentioned like if somebody had like a cancer gene or something, they could pull it out. So somehow within again, unless this is something he had pre-planned for a while, he went to a lab late at night, angry. He was typing for a while, and then he hits enter, and then the whole process starts, and like blue stuff is coming out of his body. So I don't know. Like we didn't see blue go in and blue go out, or one color going come out. It was just blue, like, and it was glowing. Like, why is his body glowing?
They didn't explain any of that. Like
they did not.
They did not. Okay. All right.
But then he was passed out, right? He passed out after it and woke up and left, and then that's where we saw. Then that's when the dog came in and knocked it over. It was like right after that.
Correct. Yeah. So the blue stuff coming out, that's supposed to be Buddy. That's
Buddy's part of the genes of Buddy. That's essentially what it is. And I guess the genes need a real piece of DNA to form. That's, I guess, because that's the end of the movie too. The same exact thing. It's Buddy turns into like whatever. We'll get to it, and then it's like, oh, we need some kind of real DNA. The end was something that was normal. This was a dog hair.
So, but again, then to me, Buddy should have been talking through the dog. Like I like that whole thing. Like because it's almost like you're splicing again. You are splicing. I guess the GNAs with mixing it up with the one hair. There should have been more like he should have had a tail or something, right? Like
that's what I was just thinking. Like, yeah, like I get that it's like, how do they choose that it's just that he wants to stick his head out the window? How about when he just
so it's just
how about what he? How about his mind later in the movie when he's opening the window for the cabbie?
Oh my god!
And he looks out and there's two dogs having sex, and he's like, "Yeah, give it to her!" Right? Doesn't he say "give it to her"?
Yeah, something like that.
Bitch,
yeah.
doesn't he say something like that?
No, well, he says no. He says.
Oh, he says "bitch" to the photo, and he takes it.
Yeah. It's just so weird. It's just so like so again because of the split. It's only his mind, but see if his mind. It thinks of a dog like situation, he shouldn't care about the formula or money. Like it should be all about dogs and he's looking like Buddy. Like it's almost like he's full Buddy, but then he just has these little dog tendencies that come out once in a while.
I think that's what it is because it was only one strand of DNA, so that's probably the idea of it. But you know what's funny? I watched this movie and then I fell asleep. And then I rewatched scenes that I had notes on, and it was funny because I didn't think of the dog thing that it was going to be affected because they didn't do that right away. So like when I watched that scene again and it was like him saying, "Oh, look at this beautiful bitch." And then she's like, "Oh," and he takes the picture. Then I'm like, "Oh my God, that's actually really funny." Because at this point I didn't realize right away he was going to become a dog because we didn't get like a full dog scene until he pisses all over the bathroom floor, which is insane.
I think he did something else in the bathroom floor. Because because
the way the
walked
guy
in
reacted,
there-
you're right.
Yeah, the way the guy reacted.
Oh my
and then-
god!
And Eddie Murphy says, "I used the newspaper." He says, "I
Oh,
used
you know
the
what? You're
newspaper."
right. You're right. Okay.
Yeah, it was. At first, you thought he was going to pee, but
Why
the
couldn't he
guy's
just done that on
reaction-
the toilet? I was thinking he had to lift his leg,
Yeah,
so it'd be
yeah.
messy. So dogs poop sort of normal. He could poop over the toilet.
But he's a dog. They need newspaper to poop. How many
No,
dogs
they
poop in a
don't. He needs some
toilet?
grass.
That's,
Nobody, but he can do everything else. It's just
I know,
his brain can't poop. And he can't pee, and he can't ride in a car normal. He can't be normal around a ball. Like that's
it's so
he can talk about this formula, but if somebody has a
was
ball,
gonna
he
say-
freaks out and runs.
he can have intelligent conversation with the CEO of a pharmaceutical company and totally fine, but yeah, he can't control himself with a ball. That's just so dumb.
Yeah.
Like it just they needed to make, like they really needed to decide, all right, is he gonna be more dog or is he gonna be more human? Like you can't have like both the way he did it, like because it makes no sense that only like little things. Because it really was only like 3 things that were really affecting him as a dog, but those are the 3 things that he couldn't control.
Yeah. And then right when he woke, because he fell asleep and he woke up pretty quick, because he was able to call Denise. So I don't know what time he called her to meet her by the lake, which is sketchy. A guy that just like kind of had this outburst at you. It'd be very scary. Hey, maybe in this secluded area right by the water. And he has like this spray that can perfectly have the fireflies marry me.
But I didn't even see it say, first of all, so I had trouble understanding half the thing. When the Klumps are together, even him, it was very hard to understand. I almost wanted to put on subtitles because the way they talk and laugh and like, it was challenging. But like, I didn't see marry me at all. So I don't like, did you like,
but how,
the way,
it did say that, but it's like, how do you write that? All he was doing, talking to her, and he went, shh.
spray.
How is he going to stay in one spot? Wouldn't you think it would move with the wind? It's a spray. Like, I get it. It's a movie, but it was like so silly, but yeah.
Okay, but how come you didn't make money on that thing? That seems like something cool that you can control bugs.
Yeah. Everybody, promposals, that'd be the biggest item. Kids would buy that everywhere to be able to write anything.
So let me ask you this. What's the point even having an invention like that?
For fun. Just for his proposal. He was like, what can I do that's unique after I mess up the mariachi band and the breaking and entering? Oh, let me get the moth spray that we invented for no reason.
So dumb. Okay.
Oh, Denise. Right. I love how they all sound the same, right? It's they all sound very similar, but there's a different twang to each of them. Like Cletus obviously just sounds like an older the Sherman voice, but it is really amazing that Eddie did it. Like thinking about, you imagine working on a movie like this and being a non-Eddie actor. It's got to be nuts. You're shooting the same friggin' scene 7 days in a row, so you play 7 different characters around you.
And think about like all the makeup that he had to go through for each of those characters, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it probably takes hours. And I was watching, like I'm trying to see like anytime you see them all together or Eddie, mix, like they cut it so clear. Like you can see a little something when they're, but they really did a great job. The fact that they're all in the same area, like sometimes you can really see how off it is. They like if you have to stare at it to see the difference of where like it goes. But otherwise, if you're just watching the movie, it's very smooth. It's a smooth transition throughout.
Well, the makeup was great because you know what? Who did it? Rick Baker. Legendary Rick Baker. Maybe that's why it looks so amazing when you
it really does.
think about. Oh my god, dude!
Well, you know what?
Insane
you think about it, like
is.
if you look at like Ryan Reynolds when he was in My Best Friend's Girl, like when he was that the one when he was a fat suit.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So he just looked like a cartoon version of himself, right? Like like he didn't look like a real person.
Just friends.
Oh, just friends. So like he looked like a cartoon version. Like he looked funny, but like it didn't look real. Like. These actually, if you weren't paying attention, like they look like real people. Like you forget, especially with the voices. Like you're not using the same voice, so it's like even The Rock in the one with Kevin Hart. He just looked like again, he looked like The Rock with like big makeup on. When I'm talking about when I forget the name of the CIA or whatever.
Yeah.
Here, like he goes so much into character with the voices and and just the personality that you could forget that it's Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, the most realistic one is the older brother because he's not like so large.
That's what I said. I think the older brother was the most realistic looking and acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other ones are very cartoonish the way they looked and spoke, but no, definitely, man. So so we have so now so Buddy, we talked about that. We talked about the money that the university was getting. So now we have, oh my God, dude, how about when they do the dress wearing?
Ugh.
And her wedding dress. Oh my gosh, dude. How would she fit in that? Anyway, and it was just all a bunch of bows.
She didn't fit into it. I mean,
No, I know it was huge on her. Yeah.
Her character in this movie has got to be the nicest person ever in a movie. Like she was just
how could she take that? Yeah.
She was just a sweetheart. Like she was calm through their meals, the dinners, the conversations, like again, putting on this is her wedding and her mom's making her wear the oversized dress. She looked like so ridiculous in it and she was acting normal. Like, it's okay. Like, I'm okay with this.
Yeah. Yeah. She had anybody that was on her side of the family, there was not much introduction. Obviously, her parents in the one scene, but how about at her bachelorette party? She had 3 friends that were non-people that we haven't seen, but all of them didn't speak. There was one girl that was sitting next to her the whole time, but the whole dress scene, when again, I don't remember. Oh, I think I looked him up when I was watching the movie, but Grandma obsessed with NBC's Stone Phillips.
He was Stone Phillips. Was he an anchor or something, or wasn't he something? Or
yeah,
something
I think
news,
he was Stone Phillips, NBC. He was an American reporter. Is he even? He's not even a hunky looking guy. So I wonder why that's the bit. I wonder if Eddie has history with him or something.
He must have done something at that time to put his name out
Dateline.
There.
He was the Dateline guy.
Yeah, I thought so.
For a while. Wow. Stone Phillips. Yeah, but yeah.
Oh,
and he was on To Catch a Predator.
But
Stone?
He's the guy that does the Predator thing?
He did 1 season of To Catch a Predator. He was the host for 13 episodes over a few years, but yeah. So she's obsessed with Stone Phillips. I think this is when she turns off the hearing aid on the guy to talk shit right in front of him about him.
Right.
But and then now this is how we meet Buddy. They're at the movie theater, hey, let's go to this random movie theater. And it just so happens, not even in the beginning of the movie, Buddy waited a little bit and started smoking a cigar, cackling. And he's like, dude, could you imagine, again, it's a far-fetched movie as it is, but if this was something that was, I was a split personality, and you saw that in front of you, he's way too calm, in this situation.
100%, because if you think about it, he's never seen Buddy, right? He knows he switches and everything else. He never met Buddy, and he's acting like he's known Buddy. He should be 100% frightened that this.
Yeah, he's a little nervous laughing. He's like, hey, it was good seeing you, buddy.
Yeah, I got to tell you, this has been one of your better impressions that you've done in a long time.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty easy to do.
But yeah, I mean, he should have been way more freaked out seeing Buddy there. Yeah, I just again, I still can't get over the fact that Buddy's even there. So yeah,
I can't get over the fact that Sherman got some very important letter. Essentially not a full contract, but something that you wouldn't want leaked. The $150 million deal for the Fountain of Youth formula from that farmer company. He just has it in his coat, and he left the theater without his coat because Buddy was swimming in it. And look at this 100. I want half. And it was like, oh my God. Wouldn't you be dude, I'll give you $1 million. Get away. I know Sherman's not getting that money, but just lie to him. Yeah. You'll be good. Once it's out there.
And yeah, you're right. I mean, he carries it. That's something should be tucked away. But I mean, it seems like he has a lot of things in his pocket, between food and everything else. So he probably has very deep pockets that he can just carry a lot of things in there. So, but let me ask you this. If by chance that say Buddy got hit by a car or died, does Sherman feel it?
Oh, I don't think he feels it. He won't be able to save himself.
But see, that doesn't make
going full dumb.
But that's so okay, so in reality, the buddy part is not only his alter ego, but his brains.
It was like a part of his brain in a sense. That's what they were saying. Like,
But
it
it's
affects
not
this
part of
part,
his
your
brain.
memory, and your.
But it's like more than just part of the brain. I mean, because he becomes an idiot. Like,
Yeah.
it just, so again, so Buddy is the smart part of Sherman and the young guy who's looking, that's all suave and everything else. Like, so what part is Sherman? Is Sherman?
Well, I don't think
the
it's
Rocky
not
Five
Sherman's
part?
not smart. It's like Sherman knows, like, even when he's teaching that class, he knows like 75% of the information. And it's like 25% is leaking. So I don't know if that's just because it's definitely because of Buddy not being there. But it's like, does Buddy have that other part? Because Buddy doesn't know shit either. I thought Buddy was going to start being able to talk to that woman like legitly. When he went there for the meeting, I thought he was going to be able to say something. All it was, oh no, how about I only charge you 149 million?
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. So like, Buddy doesn't know anything. He just knows there's money involved, and he has no. But Sherman, literally, by the end of the movie, he becomes like De Niro in Awakenings, like he's like drooling.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
he go. So, but that's my point. Like, so like, Buddy is carrying the smart gene, but Buddy doesn't know anything, and Sherman digresses so much that he becomes like a drooling baby. Like
He does.
So what part of, like, without Buddy, without that gene, Sherman is a drooling baby?
Well, I think he is a genius. He created Buddy in the one movie, but before that, he was a genius.
He created Buddy, but with his own gene. That's his gene. That's the Buddy gene is inside him.
Yeah, I know, but I think he added that to him. He was a genius, I think, before.
Or was Buddy always in there? And the
I don't
formula,
think if Buddy was, even though this movie is ridiculous as it is, do you think everybody has like a buddy or some buddy,
I
a
think
pal,
so.
a chum?
I think they have that part of them that, needs to get out, or, like that I think everybody has that in them. And I think okay, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that Buddy gene was always in him. The formula just enhanced that gene,
ignited
to
it,
make him. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so, because otherwise he shouldn't have lost anything. If that was, because he was already a genius before. If you're saying that formula put the Buddy gene in him, he was already a genius before that was in there. So by Buddy leaving, he shouldn't have lost any of his geniusness.
Yeah. No, that could be it.
You know what I'm saying? So now that but him leaving and taking that gene that was always part of him, has part of his brain in there. That's like I'm saying. So like, what part of Sherman is actually Sherman? Because is he really just an idiot? And really, Buddy is the genius inside of Sherman when he's mixed together.
It could be that, but Buddy doesn't know anything, and Sherman can't beat that dumb hamster. At first, you're like, "Oh, is this like a smart hamster?" And it's like, "Yeah, I lost to him 5 times in a row," and I'm like, "Oh my
gosh, it's so ridiculous."
Oh man,
that hamster is nightmare fuel.
Yeah, insane when we get to that. So now Sherman goes home, and Buddy trashed his house, but he didn't find the formula. So now Sherman's like, "Oh, can't keep it there," because he put it in like this weird. The box that he opened made no sense. It was like super wide, and the formula went in the one side of it. I'm like, is it gonna leak? Like, you didn't put a cap on it, and even in the fridge, there was like right there. Was there a cap in it in the fridge?
No. It was in the beaker or whatever, the bottle that he had. Not only that, the safest place he could think of is the refrigerator, where people are going to go there and eat and drink. His dad's fridge, like you couldn't find any other place to put it. How about bring it back to your lab?
Well, he didn't want to leave it there because he thought Buddy was going to go there next. But why didn't he put it to his house? Because guess what? Buddy was already there, so he's going to think, oh, it's not here.
Right? I put it in Janet Jackson's house.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But the refrigerator, of all places, where again his family seems like they eat everything in sight.
Yeah, they're not looking at what's in there. They're just like, is it in the fridge? It's food. It's fair game. You accidentally put the dog in the fridge by accident, it's mine.
They'll eat it. So it doesn't matter what's in the fridge. They're going to consume it. So, like that would, to me, that's probably the worst place he could put it. And that's where so he's a genius. He didn't lose his memory yet. That's the smartest place he could think of.
Yeah. bad move, and
Okay.
but it does work out for a good scene because I didn't remember that part of the movie. Because again, like you said, it's like, oh, this is cool, very enjoyable, and then it gets very sad and like depressing because even the woman that he's talking to, it's like a very sad like kind of scenario. But
jeez.
so we already kind of talked about this, but Wanda Sykes, really cool that she's in this movie because even though at this point she's already in a bunch of stuff, it was still just a funny scene. And again, the grandma is talking about his noodle not being able to get hard. And who walks in?
Why does the grandmother know so much about that?
Because the mom probably confides in her and tells her everything and thinking grandma's not going to.
I bet you the grandmother has like video cameras in there.
She seems, yeah, I can see.
She seems like that type that she would watch. That's. I don't think the mom is sharing. Oh wait, the mom does. She shares her Wanda. She shares her Wanda, right? The mom.
She does. Yeah. She kind of. Yeah, it comes out of her mouth. Right. He walks in. So yeah, bums him out. But the fact that right from there he goes there and he gets the formula right away. Like he knows like, oh, this must be something important. He doesn't even know what it is, right? He doesn't Sherman's hiding it in there.
He's depressed, so what do the people say, the depressed eat? When you're depressed, you eat. And so he's gonna eat whatever's in the fridge. I just don't understand, like Eddie Murphy is such a different person compared to, fat Eddie Murphy or large Eddie Murphy. The father, when he gets younger, he's still bald.
Well, he doesn't go full young. It seems like he only knocks off because he didn't drink enough. It didn't last. Yeah, you have to drink more and more.
Well, the last thing has nothing to do with it. I get it didn't last, but like I would assume like when he get younger, he would have hair. Like he'd get young enough to have hair. Like he looked like the same guy, just like thinner.
Yeah.
He looked like Bozo the Clown. He looked like Bozo the Clown. If he had Bozo hair.
He definitely did. But and then at the same time now, so he drinks the formula, he gets younger, he goes out dancing. And then at the same time, that's when Sherman is meeting two great. I can't think of the mom from Wayne's Brothers show, but she's the mom in this. Yeah. She barely has any lines. Remember how smart they are? Oh yeah, they're scientists. And she's like, it's okay. You can explain to me like I'm a dummy or something, or like a kindergartner. And he can't get words out. And then at the same time, his zipper was undone. So he zipped the tablecloth to his pants. Like he's already full, like he's gone already. And this hasn't been long. A day?
And doesn't he talk about the mom's chest? He makes a comment.
He says something
about them being big, and like it was a whole like it was just a weird. Yeah, I mean, and she told him his fly was up or down before he sat down. So how did so he started zipping it before he sat down. So how did he get the tablecloth stuck in it?
Well, that's a long zipper. It takes a few minutes to be able to do that zipper. Okay. And he doesn't do it blind. He can't see it. He's looking down and he's seeing a belly in the way.
And listen, and he was fiddling down there for a while. So he's that dumb that he can't do it either. Like, so yeah. Okay.
Well, he's full dumb. He doesn't know math, like simple math problems in like a few scenes. He can't do anything. So
clearly Janet Jackson saw that he's struggling. So she immediately should have said, hey, you know what, Sherman, you don't look right. Let's take a walk or get out of here. Like, don't bury yourself. Yeah. Don't bury yourself even more than what you're already doing. But she stayed quiet the whole time.
The fact that he zippered that in at that same time to be able to just pull it up and then everything goes on the ground.
Think about your daughter. You're like someone like Sherman coming home, meet you for the first time.
Oh my God, he zippers his pants and luckily we don't have tablecloths, but
and the way he's talking, would you like I can't because you can see his face. Was that Ernie Hudson?
Yeah.
No, that was Ernie Hudson?
No, it was the guy from Only in America from
you're right.
Rocky Five.
Yeah, you're right. So imagine like he looked like angry, but like I can't imagine like this is the one you're gonna marry. Like
this is a smart guy at the university. Yeah, this is a really smart guy he told us about.
Yeah, there's gonna be a long talk with my daughter if that was.
And then did he even after this episode? I don't even think he fully comes clean yet, right? I feel like it's another thing that happens that he finally talks to her about it.
Why is he waiting so long? Like, he clearly is making a fool of himself, yet he's still trying to, he can't humble himself to even tell her the truth, which would have made a lot more sense. And maybe she wouldn't have put like, she would have went with him to negotiate with the woman or something. Like she's a professor. She's got to be smart too. Like, maybe she could have helped him. No, he's going to do himself and just keep burying himself deeper and deeper.
Yeah, I know. Again, it's still not right. If he was married to anyone else that wasn't a scientist, that it would be way over their head. Maybe you're like, this is kind of out of your league because you're not going to believe me. You know, it's like if somebody's in the high ranking in the military and like they have really important stuff they want to talk about, they're going to talk to somebody that has nothing. It's going to be way over. So maybe that's why. But he blew it.
No. He blew it. What? He also blew it because he killed the bird. Also, don't forget.
Oh my God, I forgot about
you forgot about that. He killed the bird. So the first impression, besides getting the tablecloth stuck in your zipper, he kills the family bird.
Oh my God. Could you imagine that? Like they have kids, little Klumps walking around and they go, Grandpa, do you remember the first time you met my dad? It's like, well, he zippered the tablecloth in his pants and he killed our bird.
And he couldn't answer one question.
None.
So, yeah.
Couldn't even do anything. But yeah, this is the Buddy scene when he's supposed to, again, Buddy's supposed to be meeting this woman at a restaurant, forgets about it, and he's in the friggin' cab and he's hanging out of the window. He's cheering at dogs banging. And then he gets, gets to the restaurant. She's leaving. At the very same time is when we have young Cletus getting an argument with a man who's older than he is really over a woman that's older than Cletus is at that time. But she's definitely smoking, but it's weird. It's like, we're not together anymore. We're going to go fight in the alleyway.
But this fight is so ridiculous. Like,
I know.
It's like this movie, when you think it can't get any more sillier, it gets even more sillier.
It does, yeah. And not in like a funny, silly way. Just like this is stupid. He's getting punched and flown in the air by a guy that can't walk.
Again, it was a scene that really, because it made no sense why this scene was happening, because then the next scene he's home, sneaking into the wife's bed. So like the fight scene really didn't have to happen. Like, he should have left the bar after like he's dancing and like he's drunk or whatever. And now he's like, all right, I'm going home. Like the fight scene was just filler, I guess. It was just dumb. It was just like really dumb.
But remember when he was really excited because when the woman touched his leg, he had an erection without a pill.
So he's like, that's why he wanted to go home. Yes,
that's why. Yeah. He wanted to go home like right then and there. And then the whole conflict with that was he goes, I want to drink a little bit. I got something for you. It was more, she took it as like, he wants to obviously be able to do it with her.
Yeah.
She took it as like, oh, you want me younger. You don't love me now. That's why it's not working for you.
Well,
so that was like a really weird scene.
What she was lucky because he was originally mad at her for spilling the beans about him,
Yes.
Not so like it quickly turned and she forgot about why he was mad at her in the first place. And now she's mad at him. So this guy couldn't win either way, So, yeah. So, and then this is where like more drama comes in. So now they're having marital issues, He's
on the couch. He's got to go sleep on the couch because.
Well, I mean, the fact that he kept telling, first of all, and I get why she's thinking that, he also kept saying, don't put the lights on. Here, take a formula so you look younger. Don't put the lights on.
Don't put the lights on. And then when she turned them on, it was like you see like it's somebody that's not who you're expecting.
Of course. What would you be thinking? Like he obviously not the same size. He's gonna feel different. He's like, how about tell her before you go in there and like she freaks out like that? Like did he think that she's not gonna notice that he's like 50 pounds lighter? And
it's glowing, and not to skip over it. How about when he saw Cletus changing, Buddy looking down the alleyway, saw the fight, wanted to watch a rando fight, like a bump fight. So he didn't know what it was from that far away. he sees him changing. Oh, it's at the father's house. So then he's like, oh, I know where to go to get it. But the drink glowing and oh my God. But when he sneaks in the house, dude, that whole scene is insane. Insane. But before that, I think just before that, right, is when Sherman has that terrible, right? He's like eating that terrible food.
Oh,
He's all by himself, depressed.
Yeah.
And then he has that weird dream about saving the world and being on like an asteroid. Dude, that was the weirdest thing ever.
Dumb. Again, another scene that was just so dumb. Like it was really, I mean, again, I don't like, what was the point of that? Again, maybe it's filler. And fine.
I hope it's filler. Guys, listen, if you haven't seen this movie, if you thought, there's no way Cletus is dressed as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? He is. Cletus is Obi-Wan freaking Kenobi in this movie. And it just, and then what's his advice? Fart or release. And then he starts farting and he's flying across the
whole
thing.
fart scene.
It's like a Willy Wonka joke. Stealing the Willy Wonka Grandpa Joe.
Again, if you want him to have some kind of dream where he's saving things, like, okay, so make it like a real life kind of situation, not like on a planet like cartoony. And again, just so over the top. Like the movie's over the top to begin with. And when you think it can't get even more over the top, it goes there. It goes over the top. Like, again, fine. Now you have Star Wars and now it's a farting thing. And it's just like, oh, it's like ridiculous. Like farts in a movie, and we say this, are always funny, right?
Yeah, but farts are great.
It has to be at the right like context, and you got to be like right, like when it's forced farting, it's not forced fighting. Star Wars
use the force fart.
But it's like it doesn't like it like to me it was forced farting. Like it just didn't go like like the first time around a table when in the first movie it was funny. They're going around and making jokes. Blazing Saddles, right? It's a joke. Like when you have the Caddyshack, was it Caddyshack 2 when he jumps over the horse jumps over and the horse farts? Yeah, like jumps over the
in Caddyshack 2. I don't.
You don't remember? Yeah.
No.
What's his name? Was
Randy Quaid?
No, Jackie Mason was riding the horse, and when he jumped over the guy, in the water,
okay.
The horse farts and laughs. Like,
when he was meeting with, when he was meeting, what's his name? Yeah.
No, but he was riding. He was hitting on the what's her name, the actress, whatever. But anyway, like farts are funny when they're not like it just when it just happens. Like here, it was a forced fart, and it made no sense.
And it ended so abruptly. It was the perfect nightmare ending. Because he did save the day, but it was the wrong asteroid. And then he's like, Janet Jackson's like, oh no, you blew up the wrong one. And then he's like, oh no. And the earth explodes. And
it's so stupid.
Oh my gosh.
So stupid. Okay.
But dude, how about, so now we have, he realizes he needs at this point, he thinks I need Buddy Love back. Like he's thinking, oh, there's parts of me missing from Buddy. But now we have the bachelorette party. How about the gift that, Granny got her? Could you, again, if this was real, could you imagine that? Like your, soon to be family is buying you cut out nipple, like leather outfit? Like insane.
Well, I don't know if she bought her or if that's just like something she had owned and just gave it to her.
Well, we saw her boobs later. Oh my God, dude. This thing, they're like, she's tripping on them.
Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah. I mean, that whole scene was so gross. The saliva and everything. Like I mean, like, so yeah. So my guess is Granny owned that when she was thinner and decided to give it to her. But yeah, how weird. And again, Janet Jackson being the trooper she was as like the best possible girlfriend for anybody was like, oh, thank you. Like acting normal.
Oh, this
like,
is great.
Like this is normal. Like she laughed about it or whatever. Like, yeah, ridiculous.
And at the same time, Buddy sneaks in. He's going through everything. Granny's pissed because the stripper's not there on time. She's on the phone with him, and she was like, "You ain't no firefighter." When she catches him, because she hangs up on the people. She's like, "Oh no, I think they're here." And it's like, "Oh, I wasn't gonna be a firefighter. I want to be a cat burglar."
Why are they called cat burglars?
Because you have to be as quiet as a cat. You have cats, don't you remember? Yeah, it's like, where the hell did that cat go?
No,
but if your dog moves, you're like, the friggin' thing, because the whole house, you hear it everywhere.
I don't think that do you think I'm thinking like maybe the first thief of time stole a cat.
Cat burglar origin. The current term originated in 1907. It was to describe Arthur Edward Young, a burglar known for his climbing skills who operated in the London suburb of so it's based on a real person. Oh, that's
Interesting.
awesome.
Okay.
Wow.
So Granny
You just learned
at
something.
first. We did. Well, we're always learning something on the show.
I love it.
But Granny thought he was the stripper at first, but then realized first of all, why couldn't Buddy just get away from her? This is an old lady.
Dude.
Like he multiple times, like when she confronts him, he acts like he can't get away.
He's
First of all,
frozen. The garage. He's frozen when the garage door is open, and she's just there with her boobs hanging real low.
But he takes it. Like, how about he could probably push her over and she would fall over. She's in a wheelchair most of the movie, right? So
it's kind of like a Medusa scenario. Like he doesn't turn to stone, but he turns into quicksand. He cannot move.
Well, something tells me that when Granny has to move, like she sees her prey, she could probably move. So it would be funny to see them try to run and Granny runs after her and him and
that would be funny. Chase him down, rips him back, pulls him back.
Yeah. Like that, here, but here, when she takes her clothes off. Oh. And then again, she looks free. The whole face, it looks freaky. It's the only one that Eddie Murphy does that doesn't look like a real person. She really doesn't. She looks like someone that's been mummified for a while. And but when she's licking her lips and
dude, I just read that and my stomach turned. I wrote licking the strawberry.
Oh my gosh. The extra saliva they have.
I know, dude, it's disgusting. So disgusting. At the same time, the real firefighter, the real stripper shows up dancing to the thong song, which is the hit of this time. It's so funny. Some of these movies that's why I did love Eddie Murphy movie. I like a lot of those movies at that time that had black actors in it. They always had the best soundtracks. Rush Hour. I remember going out of my way to be like, man, I gotta get the Nutty Professor, the other one, Dr. Dolittle. They had every hit song. Dude, everything was in that movie.
I had Boomerang when he made Boomerang. I had that out on CD. I'm telling you, I had all those. Yeah, Mo Money.
Yeah, dude. Always good movie. Always good music. It's not like that anymore.
So no, but yeah. So I mean, it was. I mean, she does she goes at it. She puts her tongue down his throat. I mean, but he does throw up right afterwards, which was pretty funny. So,
but it was a cool effect to see them that face that close and interact that close. The other ones, they seem like they're master shots. This is a close up, and they were face to face. So that was pretty neat. But dude, how about the next scene when now it's all right, this is his big day, his presentation. It's for some reason live on TV. I never knew of that. It's like we were watching Shark Tank before Shark Tank with $150 million on the line. You think this would be behind closed doors? Because you know what? Couldn't somebody watch that and be like, oh, write that down?
Of course. Okay. Because
just slightly change it when they see a freaking hamster get huge?
100%. I mean, or if it didn't work, they're like, all right, I can see what he did wrong. We're going to come back and have, absolutely. And the hamster getting huge, who's not going to want that one? Then now we're going to create that's something that's almost even better. Another cool
creatures in the wars. Hey, let's throw a bunch of giant hamsters out there in Middle East.
Giant hamsters. They're going to start testing it on humans. Now you have giant
people.
Yeah. But I mean, so the hamster. So when the hamster gets huge, again, that's because of the detergent, correct?
Just detergent. He used detergent to cut it because he took too much. That's what it was.
So was there formula? So there was formula in there. It was just mixed with detergent.
It was formula cut with detergent because what he did was, because he took most of it and he was like, oh, there's none left. So he did the old water in the vodka.
But the formula is pretty clear. It's like fruit punch. Yet detergent is pretty thick.
It is.
Wouldn't it have been
should have been easy to notice when it's pouring out like syrup.
Of course. It would have been like oil in vinegar, right? And water, right? Yeah. You would have seen clumps of that, it wouldn't be smooth like that. It would come out it would drop like a blob coming out. Yeah. It wouldn't be, so okay.
All right. Oh my God. But how about the mom? I guess this is what moms do. She ooh. Ooh, Sherman looks just like Billy D. Williams.
You know what? The Billy D. Williams
Two
joke
Star
is
Wars references in this movie.
But Billy D. Williams is such a trope in a lot of movies. It's always like either a picture of him or something like, he must have been like, like so funny. Like I think I can
Handsome
name
guy.
one. Yeah, but what else was he in besides Star Wars?
Well, he was Colt 45. He was the ad for Colt 45. Like that was like a big ad campaign back in the day. But I couldn't tell you another besides that one with our not really friend, but we should have got him one day. Bobby Carradine. They're in like that Canon movie together, like the buddy cop movie. If you haven't seen it,
what wasn't he in? Was he in Nighthawks with Stallone?
Was he in Nighthawks?
He might have been.
He might have been that. I haven't seen that in a long time.
I haven't either. Rucker Howard plays the bad guy, but I want to say maybe Billy D. Williams might be in there. Okay,
no, he's definitely in a lot of stuff, but he's more of like there's more of like that
I know.
joke because of Colt 45 and being
he's a suave guy.
Yeah. But so now, oh my God, how about the hamster? Oh my God, I forgot about this too, dude. The hamster shooting its turds like bullets.
Oh my gosh.
And it shits a cop. And the cop catches it and then slow-mo jumps backwards.
See, okay. So, I mean, it's so stupid, but like it would have been better if it like burst onto the cop and like spread him,
yes.
It was like beans. Like it was like shooting beans out of his butt. That's what it seemed like. Like it would have been funnier, I think, a funnier gag if it was like splattered all over him. Like that would have been funnier.
Yeah, but no, just for him to get hit, and then Larry Miller's getting banged by the hamster.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, later on he's kind of into it, and So, okay, but how did that happen? Because he's wearing pants. It's not like the hamster pulled his pants down, because even after the next scene, he's still wearing his pants. So how did that happen? Because the back of his shirt had scratch marks on it. Like
it did,
jacket.
yeah. Maybe they're just humping him. Maybe they just know you're just humping him.
And okay. So if that really, let's just say it's possible that there could be a giant hamster, and that happens. Now this is live TV right now, and
it is. Yeah.
He basically got taken advantage by a hamster in front of everybody. Would you show your face like for a while? Like I don't know if I would be.
Wouldn't they shut the feed? Okay, this is getting crazy here. Giant hamster, let's turn it off.
It's funny. There's a Black Mirror episode that's eerily familiar. I think it's like the third episode.
If the guy watched that and wrote Black Mirror because of it, that'd be amazing.
Well, it was a politician or something like he was being blackmailed or something, and in order for something, he had to have sex with a pig live on air, and he does. And people are watching it. Like I didn't like. I heard about it, and I feel like I
didn't know my ex-wife was on the Black Mirror show.
Whoa! Yikes!
I don't have an ex-wife.
But yeah, so I mean, but if that happened to you, like I don't know if I would be able to, like, go to work. At least not the next day.
Yeah, you can't show your face.
And if they made it seem like he was really taking full advantage of him,
was he walking funny after it?
I was going to say no. I was just going to say that I don't know if he's going to be able to walk after that.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about a giant hamster. We're not talking about we're talking about a monster, like a monster. You wouldn't be able to. He'd be like on a stretcher or something. Like I don't know if he'd be able to.
He'd be dead.
Yeah.
You hear the stories about people like men with horses. And they die. They die.
Ay. Okay.
That hamster is bigger than a horse, I would think. I don't know. I don't know about down there.
Yeah, but the difference is, I mean, like it was a giant hamster, but hamsters in general are not packing.
They're not packing.
They're not packing a lot of heat. So.
Oh man! So at this point, this is when Buddy's like, "Oh, this is my chance." At the same time, Sherman. Oh, what is he gonna do? He's studying in a library. So he just had this thing bomb, and he's like, I gotta fix it. He screwed up, and what's his name is coming to mess with him. Larry Miller gives him the business, and Sherman finally realizes at this time that he's losing it by the minute when the other white scientist, who was barely in the movie, but he was kind of an important part because he was into it the whole time. Like he figured a lot of the things out early on and let him know. But yeah, so
Doesn't he?
now they're figuring out,
Doesn't
hey,
he
what's
have
the
the
next
same
steps?
look? Doesn't he have the same look that every like scientist, computer guy, in movies that like is super smart? Like he has like the long hair, glasses. Like he
He
looks the
looks like
same. Like,
McDreamy with long hair, dude. He looks like
but
that
just
actor exactly.
but that character is the same in every like movie where
Always.
like they're in the lab or a computer. Like it's either scientist or computer guy. It's always that guy that looks exactly the same.
Kenny G haircut. He got Kenny G's
haircut.
hair, or Sideshow
Absolutely.
Bobish. Yeah. But yeah. So now Larry Miller tells him that Buddy is meeting with Farman. He's like, "Oh, are you involved with this?" And I'm like, "Wait, they put this on the cover of the newspaper. The most important news in this town is Buddy Love is meeting with the big pharma company now." Front page.
We didn't even discuss the fact that Buddy's a nobody, right? She doesn't even know him. He just happened to go up there and he was saying a couple negative things about Sherman. And the woman who's like the CEO of this pharmaceutical company was actually listening to Buddy. Like
she's not good.
Like,
she should be fired.
She
really.
should be fired
really.
because literally like she was like, oh really? Like Buddy could be like, who is this guy that she's listening to? And then she goes, well, if he doesn't show up, I'll look at your product. He doesn't even know who this guy is. Like Sherman at least was like a prestigious professor at this university. Like he's known, and like she keeps listening to Buddy, who's a nobody, who could be complete full of crap, which he is. And she keeps listening to him.
Yeah. No, the board should get rid of her. She should be relieved of her duties. The fact that she would entertain it, and then from right from here is when it all starts, right? So this is when the end sequence starts pretty much right after this.
Correct.
So Denise sees the results for Sherman, and then she wants to find him regarding, oh my God, his brain's at 50%. Sherman wants to be able to stop Buddy. And this is where big important moment. I know I'm going to pitch this thing. I know so much, blah, 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 blah. But, a ball.
And he gets faked out.
He does.
So, like, again, he's human. He's pretty crafty, trying to get around Sherman, yet he got faked out by a pretend throw.
He did.
He literally ran to the wall and came back. Like he didn't see it leave his hand. He literally it's almost like when he acts dog, he's like full mind dog. Like there's no human in there at all.
When that clicks in, he's full doing
really,
it. Yeah,
because even if he saw the ball and that kind of made him want to play, like he should see right through it. If it's a fake throw, he's still human. He should say, all right, you know what? I want to play, but I know you didn't throw the ball.
I know.
No, he literally ran, came back,
Yeah. But then how does he get to this? I think I might have stepped out or closed my eyes for a few minutes on this part, but he just wants to show that the formula works and he drinks all of it. Like, how does he become the baby? Because I feel like I walked out of the room, I came back, he's a baby. And then he rips the woman's top off.
I don't know.
I think he drank the entire thing of formula. I don't remember how he got it.
No.
Or why he got it to be like, oh, you're never going to use this.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how he got it too. But
does he say, I'll prove to you that it works?
Something. I think he wanted to show how it does work because Sherman's didn't work. And so that's why he drank it. And then we see this whole naked baby sequence.
Naked baby ripping down tops. And then at this point, it's like he is intent, like, I need to get this back to me. And then Buddy turns into a puddle. Oh, not just a puddle that can flip people off. A hand comes up and flips off strangers.
So ridiculous. Like, it really is. Like, again,
dude, he's on a woman's butt and the woman farts.
Wait, the woman doesn't notice that there's a clump of goo all over her?
Whatever it is, yeah.
It was pretty thick. I mean, it wasn't like, and it sticks there. Like, so
her butt,
is it
her butt or the goo? Which was thick?
Oh, boy. Both. But yeah, I mean, so ridiculous. She farts, right? She farts.
She farts, and he goes off, and then Sherman's close to it. His father's there, she's there, and it gets into the fountain. So at this point, it's like, because he's intent on drinking it, but it's out of the fountain. It's in the fountain now. What's going to happen? And then a tear that falls from her, I think from her face, because he was too dumb because he didn't know anything. He said, "Oh, hi, nice lady."
Again,
Like, you didn't.
he became awakenings. He was drooling. Like, he was just like,
Yeah.
I mean, so bad. And if that formula landed in a fountain, wouldn't it kind of dissipate and like just like because it was a big fountain, like it's not going to sit in one area.
Yeah, it would disappear because there's filtration. Yeah, the water.
correct.
Yeah, there's got to be
And
something.
there's way
Oh,
more
the
water.
water probably pumps back through, but still, the fact that that happens.
Oh.
But when the tear falls, they're leaving, and he's like really just that like you said, drooling at this point. Oh look! Oh, the fountain is glowing.
Which why would it be glowing? And so now the fact that like they're basically every sip he gets smarter and smarter. It works that fast.
Yeah, but why wouldn't it, from the way this is working? I guess it needs if the electrocution happens, then Buddy would have formed because that's what happened to the other one. Something spill and electrocution is what made it happen. But the fact that he's drinking it, I love it. He's like, "Oh, lady, you have me drinking dirty water," and then she's like asking him questions. What's 2 times 2? Or 2 plus 2? Oh, 4. Great. But I love that she does that ridiculous problem after I has like a few more sips. What's 4,000?
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
divided
yeah.
by, and then I'm like, I wonder, that'd be a fun thing to do. And I was like, I thought of this. I need to find a math problem like that has a whole number,
and
just to know it and to throw it at people. Because like, do you think she really knew that answer off the top of her head? He's supposed to be so much smarter.
I don't even know if that's the real answer because I don't think everyone's going to assume that's real. And what if like she said that and then he just randomly put out like a huge number? No one's checking.
That's what I mean. I'm saying she doesn't know the answer. He's supposed to be the smartest person around.
I'm saying the audience.
Oh, the audience. I'm sure. I'm sure somebody had a calculator in the crowd.
Are you? Oh, okay.
I should have done it real quick, but I was just like, nobody knows. And he's like, oh yeah, point 12. I'm like, what is going on?
And how does that prove that he knows? Because like you said, she doesn't know the answer, so he could randomly say the answer, and she's like, oh, you know it. How does it?
That would have been a good ending, right? One of those.
He was drooling 2 seconds ago.
Yeah,
you know, like,
good ending. You think that he's cured, and he like turns and he like has a droopy face, drool coming down. And it's like he just faked it to just stay dumb for some reason.
What, you mean like Dumb and Dumber 2? But he was in a coma for like 20 years.
Oh, I know. I got you, man. I changed your diaper.
You know, that movie does, you know, I know a lot of people didn't like it. It had some funny scenes. That
definitely did.
That was a funny gag. That's
to see them do that again, the way their careers went, to be like obviously on the top of their game, doing dramatic stuff. It was cool to see them really lock back.
It was, but you know what though? Can you imagine like if they made a sequel like 5 years after the original one, it would have crushed it. Like, I mean, like, you know, like I think they waited too long, but it had some great scenes. Anyway. Yeah. So,
and then we get the wedding, they finally get hitched. And the only thing was Richmond. Now the hamster, what's going on? Are they together?
They are, because like he I forget, something was mentioned and then he gave a look like, well, like, you know, like when he talked about the hamster. So like, he's okay with that now. Like, so we're assuming that in reality, he's hooking up with a hamster.
He's hooking up with a hamster.
But the hamster's tiny now.
Now he's in control.
Okay. So he's pulling a Richard Gere.
That's great. God, that's amazing. What a story. How was that even a thing? But yeah, so that was Nutty Professor II, the Klumps. Jamie, if they were to make another Klump, like, is there any way they could do this again now with Eddie, the way he's like tapping back into older characters?
I don't know. I don't think so. I honestly think he blew it with this one. Because I don't know. Again, the fact that you have Buddy as a separate person just kind of threw it out, and I just like I don't know. I don't think so. I think it would be like, to me, Coming to America wasn't that good, and I feel like the second Coming to America, and I feel like this would be like another one. Like,
keep going, keep talking,
keep going. Okay. Yeah, I just think that, you know what, I don't think there's much you can do, you know, with Nutty Professor. Unless you somehow, maybe Granny, it's more about Granny and she gets younger, you know, or something. Maybe that. But I don't think with Eddie Murphy. If you come back as like, you know, a bigger person than yourself, or some kind of I thought you were gonna come back with like A
Now,
fat
could
suit.
you imagine that if I was dressed like Granny?
That's
No, the door popped open a little bit. I didn't grab it, but no. Again, I don't know how they could do it right. It just seems like again, sequels always have to like up the ante or change something. But the first one is just that perfect formula of like switching back and forth. Oh, this is really cool, even though it's all Eddie and all the most of the scenes. It's like this perfect like formula. I'm telling you, just when they split by, it was just the too much drama. So if they made another one, it would just have to be just straight funny. We don't need anything else. Like,
yeah, but I don't think
just
they can because I think anything that's like it will be like ripping off the first movie again. You know?
oh no, I know, yeah.
So I think with this formula, the only other difference maybe is have a formula that changes a guy into a girl. Or something like that, or like a girl to a guy, something like that. Maybe it's something different, like Eddie Murphy. I don't know. I just think it's like it's. I think this should have been like a one and done kind of thing. I think it was just an excuse for Eddie Murphy just to throw in some more, characters and just have fun with it. But yeah, I would not recommend this movie. It wasn't good. Watch the first one. I almost feel like this one like tarnishes the first one. Like I would stay away from this one and just watch the first one.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, not cool, but hopefully, our fortune is better after this. So our next chat is with director, producer, screenwriter, and all around funny guy, Alex Zamm. Alex is awesome. If you're watching this obviously if you're watching it. After I talked with him, told him how much my daughter loved Woody Woodpecker, a movie that he did that came out like 2017, 2018. That was absolutely hilarious. The CG was great. He said autograph things. Jingle All the Way 2, said keep on jingling, and then one to my daughter because she enjoyed the Little Rascals sequel that came out that he did. So a lot of fun talking about his career, his journey. He's just a funny guy. Like usually people on IMDb have a bio, and it's probably some generic one that's some fan made. Like he wrote it, and it has like really funny things in it. It says like a few more Zamtastic fun facts. He grew up in Woodstock, New York, but he had some cool connections along the way when he was going to school in New York and doing cartoon stuff. And then it was later was when he got into the directing. So a lot of fun. And for it, we're going to be talking Inspector Gadget 2. We had a lot of choices, but we were talking like Beverly Hills Chihuahua 2, little difficult, but it was cool talking to him about like directing dogs too. Like I feel like we've talked to people that did those type of films, but it was very interesting to hear about the dog handlers and how like all of that works. And great guy, lots of fun. So yeah. So don't forget to review, rate, share our podcast. Follow us on all social media at Sequels Only, and don't return to our website, sequelsonly.com. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, guys.